So I want to talk a little bit about this Halo CE remake or reboot, which has been rumored for a little over a year now. I think it was back in June of last year that a leaker reported that this was in the works. And then last year at the Halo World Championship, 343 released the A New Dawn video showcasing Halo in Unreal Engine 5. That is also when they rebranded as Halo Studios. And then recently, 343 put out a blog on Halo Waypoint where they said, speculation is always fun, but if you want the official scoop on what Halo Studios has been working on, you won't want to miss this year's Halo World Championship, which takes place in October of this year. Now, when this rumor of a Halo CE remake first surfaced, it had people scratching their heads, a little bit confused, especially considering that we've already gotten a Halo CE remaster with Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, which released back in 2011. So this had some people thinking, what's the deal? Are we just remastering the same game again and possibly trying to do it better this time? Because the remaster from 2011 wasn't very good and the visuals weren't very faithful to the original game. And I could imagine some people wanting another Halo CE remaster, but one that is faithful to the original game. But I don't think that's what this Halo CE remake is going to be if it is actually in the works. I highly doubt this is a case of 343 recognizing that the 2011 remaster of CE wasn't very good, and now they're trying to remaster the game again, but do it better this time. I doubt that's what's going on here. If I had to guess what this remake is going to be, assuming it is real, I'd guess it's probably going to be something more like the Doom reboot from 2016. Now, I would hope this remake isn't too much like Doom 2016 because, Doom 2016 isn't necessarily a retelling or a remaster of the original Doom. It is quite different, obviously. And I think a lot of Halo fans, myself included, would want this remake to be faithful to the original Halo CE. Now, reboots are a tricky thing for me. Reboots, remakes, whatever you want to call them. When there's already an established franchise that exists, whether that be in the form of a game, a movie, a show, a book, doesn't matter. If that franchise already exists and it's good and I've seen it and I've played it and I like it, I'm not too thrilled with taking that IP and then rebooting it. Like, I hate what they've done with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, how we had the original 3 games, COD 4, MW2, MW3, and then they did the reboot of Modern Warfare in 2019, and then 2022 with Modern Warfare 2, and then Modern Warfare 3 in 2023. And within these reboots, you have characters that were in the original Modern Warfare games, like Captain Price and Makarov. And I hate that. Like, the original Modern Warfare games, they already existed. They were good. I played them. I enjoyed them. I didn't want a Modern Warfare reboot. Now, I won't say I could never enjoy a reboot or a remake. I mean, I enjoyed Doom 2016. And if there is some type of franchise from way back in the day that was good and a lot of people loved it, but I never seen it or experienced it, and they reboot that franchise today, and that's when I experience it in the reboot and I really enjoy it, well, yeah, that is I could see that being a possibility. It's just that when it comes to some things, I'm not thrilled about the idea of a reboot or a remake. And when it comes to Halo CE, I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, here's the thing. Halo CE is a great game. I love it. Many others love it. And it sets up the following Halo games. And I don't like the idea of taking that game and rebooting it and just doing things in a completely different way with different characters and a different story. That I don't love. But the original CE is a pretty basic, bare bones game compared to later Halo games and some modern games. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the era that the game was built in, tech limitations and time constraints. And it's not like Halo CE doesn't have its flaws. I mean, just look at the level design in the campaign. There's a lot of repetitive areas and backtracking that takes place throughout the CE campaign. There's also certain mechanics in the original Halo that I think feel much better in later Halo games, such as jumping. And the visuals in the game have a early 2000s look to them, because it is a game from 2001. I'm not saying the visuals are bad or that they don't hold up, but they could be better. I'm not saying we need full-on realistic graphics for Halo CE. Like, you could make the original Halo CE a better looking game just by, taking the textures that are already in the game, leaving all the geometry alone, and just upscaling or replacing those textures with similar higher resolution textures. So it's not like I think Halo 1 is this perfect game that could never be improved. The original Halo CE is a phenomenal game, even today, but it could definitely see improvements. But I don't see 343 remaking Halo CE with only minor adjustments to the game. I imagine them doing something more drastic. And regardless if I like a Halo CE remake or not, I could see this game being a huge success. Like, as successful as the modern Doom games are. I could see a CE remake being about as successful and as popular as those games. And there are some things that have people worried about this game, like, will it be campaign only with no multiplayer? Are they going to add sprint to the game? Which I could totally see them doing. And I think both of those things would be terrible. I don't think they should be adding sprint to this Halo CE remake. And I would definitely want the game to have a multiplayer. I mean, there is a world where it makes sense for them to release this game without a multiplayer. Like, this could just be a game to hold us over until the next mainline Halo game, which would hopefully have campaign, multiplayer, Forge, all the things. But I just don't think it's a good look remaking Halo CE and releasing it without a multiplayer, especially considering the state Halo is in right now. And I know I said I don't always love reboots, but it's something I have thought about in the past, and I'm not saying this is realistic or anything like that, but I had thought about, what if the original Bungie team that made CE got back together and they made CE again today with modern tech and more time to do the things that, they wanted to do back then, but they couldn't because of tech limitations or time constraints. Like, I've thought about that, and I think that could be really, really cool. Again, not saying that's realistic or anything like that. And with this rumored CE remake, I'm not saying that's what 343 is going to do to the game. But what if they did something similar to that? Like, what if they took the original CE and enhanced the visuals in a way that was still faithful to the original game, and they take the already existing level design in CE and they just add to it. They make areas bigger, maybe introduce a couple more routes, more enemies, more allies, more vehicles. Like, what if they took some of the bigger areas in Halo CE's campaign and they just expanded them, made them bigger? And what if they really shaved off a lot of that repetition in the game with a lot of similar copy and pasted rooms or areas, and they tried to make each of those repetitive sections in the original game more unique? And what if they improved some of the mechanics in the game and made them feel better, made them feel more like the later Halo games? Like I mentioned before, the jumping. I've never liked the jumping in Halo CE. It always felt like it had a delay to it compared to later Halo games. So what if they made the jumping feel more like Halo 3, for example? Like, keep the jump height and stuff like that the same as it was in CE, but get rid of whatever it was that made it feel like there was a delay to your jump in Halo CE. And they could also make slight improvements to other mechanics that might not have felt great in Halo CE compared to later Halo games. These are just some things to think about. I'm not saying that this is 343's approach with this new rumored Halo CE remake, but I'm just trying to paint this picture of a world where a Halo CE remake isn't terrible. And I don't know if I'm coming off as hopeful about this remake. If I am, I just want to squash that right now. This is 343 we're talking about. Horrible track record, many mistakes, terrible fucking studio. So no, I am not very hopeful about this remake, if it is true, at all. But I did have some thoughts that I wanted to share. And I do not think a remake of the original Halo CE is inherently a bad thing. It just depends on how it's done. Now, another thing to think about is that this remake is probably, most likely, not getting the full mainline Halo game treatment with a campaign and a multiplayer and a forge and a theater and, all the things that you would expect in a mainline Halo game. And the last mainline Halo game, Halo Infinite, released back in 2021, and I recently made a video talking about this, but come October 27th of this year, that will mark a decade where the only mainline Halo game we've gotten in that 10-year period was Halo Infinite. And then we also got a spin-off game, Halo Wars 2. So that's a lot of time and not a lot of Halo. And it's actually kind of sickening when you compare it to how things used to be back in the Bungie era. Because when Bungie was making Halo games, in under 9 years, we got Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo CE on PC, Halo 2 Vista, Halo Wars, and Halo 3 ODST. That is in under 9 years, we got all of that. And then come October 27th of this year, that'll mark 10 years where we got one mainline Halo game and Halo Wars 2. So there's a chance that a lot of Halo fans, even some that want a Halo CE remake, they might prefer we get a new mainline Halo game as the next Halo game instead of a remake of the original Halo, because we haven't been getting a lot of Halo recently. Of course, it's possible and maybe even likely that 343 is working on the next mainline Halo game as well as this Halo CE remake. I mean, in the blog they recently released, they did mention that there are multiple projects that they are actively working on. So I'm not acting like the CE remake is the only thing they've been working on and that a mainline Halo game isn't in the works. But if they could have allocated the resources that are working on the CE remake to working on the next mainline Halo game, then maybe we could have gotten that game out the door faster, and maybe that's what many Halo fans might have preferred. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it was last year at the Halo World Championship that 343 premiered their A New Dawn video showcasing Halo in Unreal Engine 5. And Unreal Engine 5 is home to a lot of really incredible looking video game visuals. But I will say, in that video, there were some things that I wasn't thrilled about, like especially with some of the 3D models like Master Chief and the elites that we saw. To me, they looked really plasticky and toy-like action figures. Like it almost looks like they took these elite and chief action figures and they kind of positioned them in these action stances and then took a picture. So that didn't look great to me at all. So just because a Halo game is being built in Unreal Engine 5, that doesn't guarantee the game is going to look great. So anyways, those are my thoughts on this rumored Halo CE remake. It could be good. I think that's unlikely considering 343 and, well, considering that alone, It's unlikely it will be good. But there is a world where I could imagine Halo CE being remade and it actually being good. And if this CE remake is real, this could be the start of a remake of the whole trilogy. I mean, after this, 343 might go on to remake Halo 2 and Halo 3 as well. I could absolutely see them doing that, remaking the original games in Unreal Engine 5. But a lot of that might depend on how this CE remake is received. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Is this remake even real? I think there's reason to believe that it is probably real, but there is no confirmation at this time, but maybe we'll get that confirmation at the Halo World Championship this year. I mean, they could announce the next mainline Halo game, Halo 7, at this Halo World Championship, but I don't see them announcing the next mainline Halo game here. But yeah, anyways, that's going to do it for this one. See you on the next one. Peace.